Year 4 Mini Mock 4 video walkthrough. We're going to look at the answers together. Let's start with question 1. The question is, what is the name of the girl in the story? Your choices are A. Aura, B. Alara, C. Orin, or D. Stargazer. Now, if you look at the very beginning of the story, it says, a girl named Alara. This tells us that the main character's name is Alara. The other choices are not her name. Aura is the name of the city's shield, not a person. Orin is her great-grandfather, and Stargazer is a title she has, not her actual name. So the correct answer is letter B, Alara. Question 2. What protects the city of Aethel? The choices are A. A big wall, B. A glass dome, C. The aura, or D. The tower. The story tells us that the city lived under a huge, shiny shield called the aura. So the aura is what protects the city. The story doesn't mention a big wall or a glass dome protecting the city. The tower is a place Alara climbs, but it's not the protection for the city. Therefore, the correct answer is letter C, the aura. Question 3. Who was Orin? The choices are A. Ilara's father, B. The city leader, C. Ilara's great-grandfather, or D. Ilara's friend. In the story, we learn that the journal was filled with her great-grandfather's neat handwriting, and his name was Orin. So that tells us that Orin is Ilara's great-grandfather. He is not her father, and the story doesn't say he was the city leader. He is also more than just a friend. He is a relative. Therefore, the correct answer is letter C, Ilara's great-grandfather. Question 4. What did Alara find in the astrolabe's secret spot? The choices are A. A map and a key, B. A journal, C. Gold coins, or D. A small telescope. The story tells us that after opening the back of the astrolabe, she discovered a small journal filled with her great-grandfather's handwriting. So the journal is what she found. It doesn't say she found a map and a key, or gold coins, or a small telescope hidden inside the astrolabe. Therefore, the correct answer is letter B, a journal. Question 5. What was Orin's special title? Let's check the choices. A. Stargazer, B. Astrologer, C. Spire climber, D. The collector. Well, the story tells us Orin was known as the last stargazer, someone who looked at the stars. Why not the others? Astrologer isn't used in the story, and Spire climber and the collector are never given as his titles. So the correct answer is letter A, stargazer. Question 6. What sound did the city speakers make in the afternoon? Think about this for a moment. Your choices are A. Loud music, B. A beeping alarm, C. The sound of wind, D. A soft sound like rain. The story describes the city speakers making a soft sound like rain in the afternoon. The text doesn't mention loud music, a beeping alarm, or a wind sound during that time. Therefore, the correct answer is letter D, a soft sound like rain. Question 7. How did most people in Aethel feel about stargazers? This is about what people thought. The choices are A. They admired them, B. They thought it was a silly, foolish thing, C. They were afraid of them, D. They had never heard of them. The story says most people in the city thought being a stargazer was something silly or foolish. The people didn't admire or fear the idea, and they certainly had heard about them. So, the correct answer is letter B. They thought it was a silly, foolish thing. Question 8. Besides drawings, what did Oren call the Milky Way in his journal? Let's think about the special words Oren used. The choices are A. A river of light, B. A glowing cloud, C. A silver road, D. A path of dreams. In his journal, Oren described the Milky Way as a river of light. The story doesn't use the other phrases, like glowing cloud or silver road, so the correct answer is letter A, a river of light.
Question 9. Question: where was the secret observatory located? Choices: A. Under the city, B. At the top of the tallest tower, C. In Alara's house, D. Inside the aura. Explanation: Oren wrote about a hidden room at the very top of Ethel's tallest tower. Why not the others? It is not underground, not in her home, and not inside the aura itself. Correct answer, letter B, at the top of the tallest tower. Question 10. Question: what did Alara use as a key to find the secret paths? Choices: A. A special card, B. The journal, C. The astrolabe, D. A riddle. Explanation: the astrolabe really was a key. When she matched its rings to shapes on the walls, secret doors opened. Why not the others? The journal gives clues but is not the key. A card is never mentioned. The riddle tells the correct time to act, not what unlocks doors. Correct answer, letter C, the astrolabe. Question
11. Question: what did Elara hear as she climbed the rusty walkways? Choices: A. The hum of the city, B. People talking, C. Creaking metal and dripping water, D. The sound of the wind. Explanation: the text lists creaking metal and dripping water. Why not the others? The city hum is gone by then, and there is no talk of people or wind sounds in that scene. Correct answer, letter C, creaking metal and dripping water. Question 12. Question: how was the air in the secret room at the top of the tower? Choices: A. Warm and comfortable, B. Thick and hard to breathe, C. It smelled like flowers, D. Thin and cold. Explanation: the air was thin and cold. Why not the others? None of the other descriptions match the line in the story. Correct answer, letter D, thin and cold.
Question: what was the first thing Elara saw when she reached the secret room? Choices: A. The city below, B. The real night sky and stars, C. An old computer, D. The twin comets. Explanation: she looks up through the glass dome and sees the real night sky filled with stars. Why not the others? The comets are found later with the telescope. The city and a computer are not first. Correct answer, letter B, the real night sky and stars. Question 14. Question: what did Elara clean in the secret room? Choices: A. The astrolabe, B. The dusty glass walls, C. The telescope's lens, D. The round door. Explanation: she quickly cleaned the telescope's lens. Why not the others? She does not clean the walls, the door, or the astrolabe at that moment. Correct answer, letter C, the telescope's lens. 15. Question: what were the long glowing tails of the comets made of? Choices: A. Fire and rock, B. Ice and dust, C. Light and energy, D. Clouds and air. Explanation: the text says tails made of ice and dust. Why not the others? The other materials are not stated and do not match the story's science note. Correct answer, letter B, ice and dust. Question 16. What did the twin comets look like they were doing? Choices: A. Racing each other, B. Hugging, C. Fading away, D. Exploding. Explanation: their tails seemed to mix together like they were hugging. Why not the others? No racing, fading, or exploding is described. Correct answer: letter B. Hugging.
Question: what happened to the aura when the comets lined up? Choices: A. It broke into pieces. B. It turned bright red. C. It became clear like glass. D. It got bigger. Explanation: it just became clear like glass. Why not the others? It does not break, change to red, or grow. Correct answer: letter C. It became clear like glass. Question 18. Question: for how long had the people of Athel not seen the real sky? Choices: A. 100 years, B. 1,000 years, C. 50 years, D. 500 years. Explanation: the text says for the first time in 500 years. Why not the others? The other time lengths are not stated. Correct answer: letter D. 500 years.
19. Question: what did the people on the streets do when the aura changed? Choices: A. They ran and hid. B. They cheered loudly. C. They stopped and looked up. D. They ignored it. Explanation: people stopped and looked up. Why not the others? No hiding, cheering, or ignoring is described. Correct answer: letter C. They stopped and looked up. Question 20. Question: the story says the crying sky was like what? Choices: A. A river overflowing. B. A sad movie. C. Tears washing a window clean. D. A baby crying. Explanation: the aura clears so the real sky shows. It is like tears washing a window clean. Why not the others? The picture is about cleaning, not flooding, movies, or baby tears. Correct answer: letter C. Tears washing a window clean.
1. Question: what kind of items did Alara like to collect? Choices: A. New clothes and gadgets. B. Shiny rocks and gems. C. Old and forgotten things. D. City maps. Explanation: her room was like a museum of old and forgotten things. Why not the others? The text never says she collects the other items. Correct answer: letter C. Old and forgotten things. Question 22. Question 22. What was one of the constellations Oren drew in his journal? Choices: A. The lion. B. The Little Dipper. C. The Great Bear. D. The dragon. Explanation: the story lists the hunter, the twins, and the Great Bear. Why not the others? The lion and dragon are not listed. The Little Dipper is not mentioned. Correct answer: letter C. The Great Bear.
23. Question: what sound came from the tower when the comets aligned perfectly? Choices: A. A loud bang. B. A soft humming sound. C. A ringing bell. D. Complete silence. Explanation: a soft humming sound came from the tower. Why not the others? No bang, bell, or silence is reported. Correct answer: letter B. A soft humming sound. Question 24. Question: the little rabbit began to blank when it saw the fox. Choices: A. Sleep. B. Tremble. C. Eat. D. Play. Explanation: when scared, a rabbit shakes or trembles.
Why not the others? It would not sleep, eat, or play when frightened. Correct answer, letter B, tremble. Question 25. Question. The blank sun was shining brightly in the sky. Choices: A, heavy, B, brilliant, C, quiet, D, sleepy. Explanation. Brilliant means very bright and matches shining brightly here. Why not the others? Heavy, quiet, and sleepy do not describe sunlight properly here. Correct answer, letter B, brilliant. Question 26. Question. If you mix blue and yellow paint, you will blank green paint. Choices: A, create, B, destroy, C, hide, D, find. Explanation. Mixing makes something new, so you create green paint. Why not the others? You are not destroying, hiding, or finding paint. Correct answer, letter A, create. Question 27. Question. The old castle on the hill looked very blank and mysterious. Choices: A, modern, B, tiny, C, ancient, D, happy. Explanation. Old and mysterious matches ancient. Why not the others? Modern is opposite of old. Tiny and happy do not match the mood. Correct answer, letter C, ancient. Question 28. Question. The boy gave a blank shout when he scored the winning goal. Choices: A, joyful, B, sad, C, slow, D, soft. Explanation. Scoring brings joy, so the shout is joyful. Why not the others? Sad, slow, and soft do not fit a victory shout. Correct answer, letter A, joyful. 9. Question. I was so blank after playing outside all day. Choices: A, hungry, B, full, C, energetic, D, exhausted. Explanation. After long play, you feel very tired or exhausted. Why not the others? Hungry or full are about food. Energetic is the opposite feeling. Correct answer, letter D, exhausted. Question 30. Question. The mouse moved blank so that the cat would not hear it. Choices: A, loudly, B, quickly, C, silently, D, heavily. Explanation. To avoid being heard, it must move silently. Why not the others? Loudly and heavily make noise. Quickly does not promise quiet. Correct answer, letter C, silently. Question 31. Question. The blank puppy wagged its tail and licked my hand. Choices: A, friendly, B, angry, C, shy, D, tired. Explanation. Wagging and licking show friendliness. Why not the others? Angry, shy, or tired do not match those actions. Correct answer, letter A, friendly. 32. Question. My mom said my bedroom was messy, so I had to blank it up. Choices: A, break, B, tidy, C, mix, D, build. Explanation. We tidy a messy room. Why not the others? Break, mix, and build do not collocate with room cleanup. Correct answer, letter B, tidy. Question 33. Question. The magician made a rabbit blank from his empty hat. Choices: A, stay, B, fall, C, enter, D, appear. Explanation. Magic tricks make things appear. Why not the others? Stay, fall, or enter
do not match the trick described. Correct answer. Letter D, appear. Question 34. Question. It is blank to wear a coat when it is cold outside. Choices. A, strange. B, sensible. C, silly. D, funny. Explanation. Sensible means wise and practical. Why not the others? Strange, silly, and funny do not fit good advice. Correct answer. Letter B, sensible. Question 35. Question. The blank detective looked for clues to solve the mystery. Choices. A, sleepy. B, clever. C, hungry. D, clumsy. Explanation. A good detective is clever. Why not the others? Sleepy, hungry, or clumsy do not help solve mysteries. Correct answer. Letter B, clever.
Question 36. Question. The beautiful butterfly has very blank wings. Choices. A, delicate. B, strong. C, rough. D, plain. Explanation. Butterfly wings are very light and delicate. This means they're thin and easily moved, just like a flower petal. Why not the others? Strong, rough, or plain don't really describe the beautiful way a butterfly looks when it's flying. Correct answer, letter A, delicate. Question 37. I saw the blank of my face in the shiny puddle. Choices. A, sound. B, picture. C, shadow. D, reflection. Explanation. When light bounces off a shiny surface like water, it creates a reflection where you can see your own face or other objects clearly. Why not the others? Sound is not visible, and a picture or shadow aren't the right scientific word for what happens with light and a shiny surface. Correct answer, letter D, reflection. Question 38. The baby bird was blank to fly out of the nest on its own. Choices. A, happy. B, bored. C, hesitant. D, exhausted. Explanation. A baby bird would feel unsure or hesitant about flying out of the nest for the first time. It's something they haven't done before. Why not the others? Happy, bored, or exhausted don't really show that feeling of doubt or carefulness a baby bird might have. Correct answer, letter C, hesitant.
39. Question. I could not blank my eyes when I saw the huge birthday cake. Choices. A, believe. B, believe. C, believe. D, believe. Explanation. The correct spelling is believe. Sometimes words can be a bit tricky, but this is the right way to spell it. The other choices, like believe or believe, aren't spelled correctly in English. Correct answer, letter C, believe. Question 40. Question. Sam loves riding his new blank to the park. Choices. A, bicycle. B, bicycle. C, bicycle. D, bicycle. The correct spelling for this one is bicycle. It has a Y and a C. All the other versions misspell the word in some way. Correct answer, letter B, bicycle. Question 41. Question. The twins look the same, but they have very blank personalities. Choices. A, different. B, different. C, different. D, different. Explanation. The correct spelling for this one is different. It has all the right letters in the correct order.
Looking at the other choices, some are missing letters, like different, or have the wrong vowel, like different. They don't quite make the word we need. Correct answer, letter A, different.
42. Question: the maths problem was very blank to solve. Choices: A, difficult, B, difficult, C, difficult, D, difficult. Explanation: the correct spelling for this word is difficult. It's a word we use quite often, so it's good to know how to spell it. The other choices, like difficult or difficult, just aren't the right way to spell it in English. Correct answer, letter C, difficult. Question 43. Question: the magician waved his wand and made the rabbit blank. Choices: A, disappear, B, disappear, C, disappear, D, disappear. Explanation: the correct spelling for this word is disappear. It has the correct amount of S's and P's. The other choices, like disappear or disappear, are missing or adding extra letters. Correct answer, letter D, disappear. Question 44. Question: have you had blank to eat, or are you still hungry? Choices: A, enough, B, enough, C, enough, D, enough. Explanation: the correct spelling for this one is enough. This is how we spell the word to mean that we have a sufficient amount of something. The other choices, like enough or enough, are written incorrectly. Correct answer, letter B, enough. Question 45. Question: my blank color is blue. Choices: A, favorite, B, favorite, C, favorite, favorite. Explanation: in UK spelling, which is how we often use in this part of the world, the correct word is favorite, with an O-U-R. Each of the other choices is misspelled. Correct answer, letter C, favorite. Question 46. The doctor measured my blank to see how tall I am. Choices: A, height, B, height, C, height, D, height. Explanation: the correct spelling is height. That's how you write the word height. Why not the others? All the other options have letters in the wrong order or missing. See how options A, B, and D don't quite look right. The letters are mixed up or missing compared to the correct spelling. Correct answer, letter C, height. Question 47. We had to take a boat to get to the tropical blank. Choices: A, island, B, island, C, Iceland, D, island. Explanation: the correct spelling is island. Island means a piece of land surrounded by water, and this is how we spell it. Why not the others? These other ways of spelling it, like island or Iceland, aren't the right way. We need to remember the silent S in island. Correct answer, letter B, island. Question 48. Please return your books to the blank on time. Choices: A, library, B, library, C, library, D, libry. Explanation: library is spelled L-I-B-R-A-R-Y. This is the place where we borrow books to read. Why not the others? Look carefully at the other spellings. They might have extra letters, miss some out, or put them in the wrong place. Library is tricky, so remember all those letters. Correct answer, letter B, library. Question 49. The nurse gave me some blank to help my cough. Choices: A, medicine, B, medicine, C, medicine, D, medicine. Explanation. The correct spelling is medicine. Medicine is what helps us feel better when we are sick. Why not the others? All other spellings are incorrect. Options A, B, and C just aren't the right way to spell medicine. The letters are wrong. We need to use spelling D. Correct answer, letter D, medicine.
50. We blank go to the cinema for a special treat. Choices: A, occasionally, B, occasionally, C, occasionally, D, occasionally. Explanation. The correct adverb is occasionally, with double C and double L. This means that you go to the cinema sometimes, but not all the time. Why not the others? Each alternative drops or misplaces letters. Options A, C, and D don't spell occasionally correctly. Remember the double C and double L when you write this word. Correct answer, letter B, occasionally.
Blank, magic mirror. Rule: the dotted line is a mirror. Swap left, right. Do not flip top and bottom. What should change? The arrow moves to the left of the big rectangle and now points left. The rectangle stripes flip direction, left slanted to right slanted. The oval stripes also flip, right slanted to left slanted. The black circle inside the oval stays the same spot, mirrors to itself. Eliminate. C. Rectangle has vertical stripes, not a mirror of slanted lines. E and A. The slanted stripes don't flip. Both parts keep the same slant. D. The arrow is still on the right. Answer: B. Question 2. Magic mirror rule. The dotted line is a mirror. Left, right swap. Up and down stay the same. Don't turn the picture. Read the start picture. Top white arrow points right. Inside the black rectangle is a white trapezoid with its wide/top side on the left. Side arrows. Left side points up. Right side points down. Bottom left points down left. Mirror it. Top arrow, right to left. Trapezoid. Top on left to top on right. It faces the other way. Side arrows. Left up moves to the right and still points up. Right down moves to the left and still points down. Bottom left becomes bottom right. Down left to down right. Eliminate. A. Rectangle/shape and arrows don't match the mirror. B. Top arrow still points right, not mirrored. C. Inside trapezoid hasn't flipped. Arrows wrong. E. Side arrows in the wrong places/directions. Answer: D.
Magic mirror rule. The dotted line is a mirror. Left, right swap. Top and bottom stay the same. What should change? The white triangle flips left, right, so it faces the other way. The small black arrow inside the triangle flips from pointing right to pointing left. The curved white arrow that was on the right of the triangle moves to the left/top side of the triangle. Eliminate. B and C. The triangle/curved arrow are in the wrong places. D and E. The arrow inside the triangle still points the wrong way. Answer: A. Question blank 4. Magic mirror rule. The dotted line is a mirror. Left swaps with right. Top and bottom stay the same. Don't turn the picture. What should change? The triangle, with the black star inside, moves to the other side of the rectangle. The arrow that pointed right now points left. The rectangle's stripes flip from left slanted to right slanted. Eliminate. A and E, stripes still slant left, not mirrored. C, the star/triangle are on the wrong side after the mirror. D, nothing has swapped sides, it isn't mirrored. Answer B.
Action. Magic mirror rule. Swap left, right, swap. Top, bottom stay the same. What the mirror picture must show. The tall white rectangle moves to the right side. All 3 arrows on it now point left. Top black, middle white, bottom black. The short line with the black dot jumps to the other side too. Eliminate. B, arrows point down and the rectangle is at the top. E, arrows still point right, the dot is on top and the rectangle is left. C and D, arrows/parts are in the wrong places after mirroring. Answer A. Question blank 6, reflection. You wrote answer is A, but that looks like a slip. A is tilted too much. The correct mirror is C. Magic mirror rule. Swap left, right without turning the picture. Start picture, simple words. A crown shape tilted a little to the right. A vertical line near the left side. A horizontal line across the bottom edge. Mirror picture must be the same crown but tilted the same amount to the left. Move the vertical line to the right side. Keep the bottom horizontal line going all the way across. Eliminate. A, crown is tilted too much. B, still tilted to the right, not mirrored. D, bottom line doesn't reach the edge. Answer C.
Mirror. Rule. The dotted line is a mirror. Swap left/right, don't turn the picture. Start picture. The triangle points left. The black arrow inside points right. Mirror picture must show. The triangle now points right. The black arrow now points left. Eliminate. A, triangle still points left. C, arrow has 2 heads, not our shape. D, arrow still points right. Answer B. Question 8 with eliminations. Magic mirror rule. The dotted line is a mirror. Left/right swap. Top and bottom stay the same. What the mirror picture must show. The small white circle moves from the top right, NE, to the top left, NW. The thin diagonal line flips from NW/SE to NE/SW. The gray hourglass flips so it leans the other way, to the left now. Eliminate. A, small circle still on the right. B, gray hourglass is the wrong size/lean. C, small circle on the left, but the inside stripes/hourglass didn't flip correctly. Answer D. Magic mirror rule. The dotted line is a mirror. Left swaps with right. Top and bottom stay the same. What the mirror picture must show. Top white circle stays top. Left white circle moves to the right. Right black circle moves to the left. Bottom gray circle stays bottom, behind the point so the point still shows. Eliminate. B, the gray circle is on the wrong side. C, the left point is hidden. The tip shouldn't be covered that way. D, the shape looks turned, not just mirrored. Answer A. Question 10 with eliminations. Magic mirror rule. The line is a mirror. Left swaps with right. Top and bottom stay the same. Don't turn the picture. What the mirror picture must show. The whole shape tilts the other way, to the left now. The 2 spikes swap sides. The long spike moves to the other side, and the wide spike moves to the other side too. The slanted stripe pattern flips to the opposite slant because of the mirror. Eliminate. A, the spikes look inside the bar, not like the original. B, the left spike is too wide after the flip. C, spikes are in the wrong positions. Answer D. Question 11. Rule. Look for the picture where there are 2 arrows pointing toward each other. Arrow tips face in. Other little shapes don't matter. Eliminate.
A. Arrows don't face each other. B. Arrows point away/different directions. D. Arrows don't meet tip to tip. E. Arrows aren't facing each other. Answer C. It's the only one with two arrows pointing toward each other.
Nations. Rule. Pick the picture where the small shapes match the big shape, circle blank with circles, triangle blank with triangles, etc. The three small shapes show one striped, one solid black, and one plain white. Eliminate. A. The set of fills isn't one striped plus one black plus one white. The white is missing. B. Two small shapes are black and the small triangles are upside down. C. Shape is flipped and the plain white one is missing. D. Two small shapes are black and the set doesn't match the rule. Answer. E. Big hexagon with three small hexagons inside, one striped, one black, one white. Positions don't matter, so this matches perfectly. Question 13 with eliminations. Rule. Pick the picture that, like the three examples, has one dotted, broken blank line, shape, and one normal outline shape inside. A straight line down the middle with a solid black triangle on one end of the line. Eliminate. A. Has two dotted shapes and the triangle on the middle line isn't a solid black tip. B. The middle line has no triangle tip. C. Also no triangle tip on the middle line. D. Both small shapes sit on one side of the line instead of one each side. Answer. E. It has one dotted shape, one normal shape, and a center line with a black triangle tip, just like the examples. Pattern growing. Rule. Each new picture adds one more line and one more end circle. So the next one needs 5 lines with 5 little circles at the ends. Eliminate. A. Only 3 lines/circles. C. Has 3 lines and 2 circles. D. Only 4 lines and the 2 circles are too big. E. 3 lines and 2 circles. Answer. B. Shows 5 lines and 5 circles. Question 15. 4 around 1. Rule. There's one shape in the center and exactly 4 shapes around it. Top, bottom, left, right. Eliminate. A, E have 5 around the center. B, D have only 3 around the center. Answer. C. 1 in the middle with 4 around it.
Angles today, and practice classifying them in this math section. Are you ready? Question 1. Classify the angle shown. Choices. A. Acute. B. Right. C. Obtuse. D. Straight. The formula to remember is that acute angles are less than 90 degrees. Right angles measure exactly 90 degrees, which you can often tell by a little square corner. Obtuse angles are greater than 90 degrees, but less than 180 degrees. And a straight angle is exactly 180 degrees, forming a straight line. Looking at the angle shown, it's clearly smaller than 90 degrees. Therefore, it is classified as an acute angle. It's not a right angle because it doesn't have that square corner, and it's not obtuse or straight because it's much smaller. So, the correct answer is letter A, acute. Question 2. Classify the angles shown. Choices. A. Acute. B. Right. C. Obtuse. D. Straight. Remember the angle type definitions from the previous question. This image has that special square corner symbol where the angles meet. That square symbol indicates that the angle is exactly 90 degrees, which we know is a right angle. Since it's not smaller than 90 degrees, it's not acute. It's not bigger than 90 degrees, so it's not obtuse, and it's not a straight line. Therefore, the correct answer is letter B, right. Question 3. Classify the angle shown. Choices. A.
acute, B, right, C, obtuse, D, straight. Remember looking at the angle type definitions from the first two questions. This angle is clearly wider than a right angle, which is 90 degrees. However, it's not a completely straight line, meaning it's less than 180 degrees. Since it falls between 90 and 180 degrees, this angle is called obtuse. It isn't acute because it's wider than 90, and it's not right because it doesn't have the 90-degree square corner. So, the correct answer is letter C, obtuse. Question 4. Classify the angle shown. Choices: A, acute, B, right, C, obtuse, D, straight. Remember, think about the size of the angle compared to the 90-degree right angle. This angle is clearly smaller than a right angle. Angles that are smaller than 90 degrees are called acute angles. It isn't right because it doesn't have that square corner and measure exactly 90 degrees. It's not obtuse because it's not wider than 90 degrees, and it's not a straight line. So, the correct answer is letter A, acute.
Let's classify the angles shown. This is just telling us to figure out what kind of angle it is. The choices are A, acute. An acute angle is a small angle, less than 90 degrees. B, right. A right angle is perfectly 90 degrees, like the corner of a square. C, obtuse. An obtuse angle is bigger than 90 degrees, but smaller than a straight line, which is 180 degrees. And D, straight. A straight angle is just a flat line, 180 degrees. The formula here is the same as the first question. We're just looking at the angle and figuring out its size. The explanation is that the angle shown in the picture is bigger than 90 degrees, but smaller than 180 degrees. This means it's not a right angle, not acute, and not a straight angle. So the correct choice is letter C, obtuse. Question 6. Let's find the missing angle in a right triangle that has another angle of 33 degrees. Remember, a right triangle has one angle that is perfectly 90 degrees, and all three angles inside a triangle always add up to 180 degrees. The choices are A, 23 degrees, B, 33 degrees, C, 57 degrees, D, 67 degrees. To find the missing angle, since we know the total is 180 degrees and there's already one 90-degree angle and another 33-degree angle, we can subtract the known angles from 180. So the formula is 180 minus 90 minus 33. When you do that math, 180 minus 90 is 90, and 90 minus 33 equals 57. So the missing angle is 57 degrees. The other answers, 23 degrees, 33 degrees, and 67 degrees, wouldn't work because they don't add up correctly with 33 degrees and 90 degrees to make 180 degrees in total. So the correct answer is letter C, 57 degrees. Question 7. We have a right triangle with one acute angle of 18 degrees. Remember, a right triangle has one 90-degree angle, and the other two angles are acute, meaning they're less than 90 degrees. We need to find the other acute angle. The choices are A, 18 degrees, B, 54 degrees, C, 72 degrees, D, 78 degrees. The formula here is that the two acute angles in a right triangle always add up to 90 degrees. Since the total is 180 and one angle is 90, the other two must have a sum of 90 degrees. So to find the missing angle, we just subtract the given acute angle from 90. The explanation is that 90 minus 18 equals 72. So the missing angle is 72 degrees.
The other answers, 18 degrees, 54 degrees, and 78 degrees, wouldn't work because they don't add up to 90 degrees with 18 degrees. The correct choice is letter C, 72 degrees.
We have a right triangle, which means it has a special angle that is 90 degrees. One of the other angles is 45 degrees. We need to find the size of the remaining acute angle. Choices: A, 35 degrees, B, 45 degrees, C, 55 degrees, D, 65 degrees. The formula we use here is that the sum of the acute angles in a right triangle is always 90 degrees, so we subtract the known acute angle from 90. Formula: 90 minus 45 equals 45. Since 90 minus 45 equals 45, the other acute angle is also 45 degrees. This means the two acute angles are the same size. Explanation: the two acute angles are equal. Let's check the other choices. If the missing angle was 35 degrees, 90 minus 35 would be 55 degrees, not 45 degrees. Similarly, 55 and 65 degrees wouldn't work either. Why not the others? 35 degrees, 55 degrees don't satisfy 90 minus 45. So the correct choice is B, which is 45 degrees. Correct answer, letter B, 45 degrees. Question 9. Question: angles on a straight line. One angle is 68 degrees. Find the other. Choices: A, 68 degrees, B, 102 degrees, C, 112 degrees, D, 128 degrees. The formula we use is that the angles on a straight line, which are called a linear pair, always add up to 180 degrees. To find the missing angle, we subtract 68 degrees from 180 degrees. Explanation: when we subtract 68 degrees from 180 degrees, we find that the missing angle is 112 degrees. Why not the others? 68 degrees is the same angle, so it can't be the other angle. 102 degrees and 128 degrees, when added to 68 degrees, would not total 180 degrees. Correct answer: the correct answer is letter C, 112 degrees. Question 10. Question: angles on a straight line. One angle is 135 degrees. Find the other. Choices: A, 35 degrees, B, 45 degrees, C, 55 degrees, D, 65 degrees. Formula: to find the missing angle, we subtract 135 degrees from 180 degrees. Explanation: since the angles are on a straight line, their total measure is 180 degrees. We know one angle is 135 degrees, so we subtract 135 degrees from 180 degrees to find the missing angle. 180 degrees minus 135 degrees equals 45 degrees. Why not the others? 35 degrees, 55 degrees, and 65 degrees, when added to 135 degrees, would not total 180 degrees. Correct answer: the correct answer is letter B, 45 degrees.
Question number 11. The question says, three angles about a straight line are 132 degrees, 18 degrees, and blank. Find blank. Let's see what the choices are. Is the answer A, 20 degrees, B, 25 degrees, C, 30 degrees, or D, 35 degrees? Well, when you have angles about a straight line, they always add up to 180 degrees. So we can add 132 degrees and 18 degrees together, which gives us 150 degrees. To find the missing angle, we subtract 150 degrees from 180 degrees, and that gives us 30 degrees. So the correct answer is letter C, 30 degrees. The other choices, 20 degrees, 25 degrees, or 35 degrees, wouldn't add up to 180 degrees with 132 degrees and 18 degrees. Now let's move on to question number 12. This question is about angles around a point, or a full turn. It says, angles around a point, a full turn, one sector is 260 degrees. Find the missing angle. What do you think the choices are? Are they A, 80 degrees, B, 90 degrees, C, 100 degrees, or D, 120 degrees? Well, a full turn around a point is always 360 degrees. So, to find the missing angle, we subtract 260 degrees from 360 degrees, and that gives us 100 degrees. So, the correct answer is letter C, 100 degrees. The other choices, 80 degrees, 90 degrees, or 120 degrees, wouldn't add up to 360 degrees with 260 degrees.
Question 13. This question is about angles around a point. It tells us that one sector is 210 degrees, and we need to find the missing angle. The choices given are A, 110 degrees, B, 120 degrees, C, 140 degrees, or D, 150 degrees. To find the missing angle, we use the formula missing equals 360 degrees minus 210 degrees, because all the angles around a point add up to 360 degrees. When we subtract 210 from 360, we get 150 degrees. The other answers, 110, 120, and 140 degrees, don't add up to 360 when added to 210 degrees. Therefore, the correct answer is letter D, 150 degrees. Moving on to question 14. This question is about triangles. We have a triangle with two angles given, 90 degrees and 45 degrees. We need to find the third angle. The possible choices are A, 35 degrees, B, 40 degrees, C, 45 degrees, or D, 55 degrees. To find the third angle in a triangle, we use the formula 180 degrees minus the sum of the other two angles, which means we calculate 180 minus the quantity 90 plus 45 degrees. This gives us 45 degrees. The other answers, 35, 40, and 55 degrees, do not satisfy the requirement of adding up to 180 degrees in a triangle. Therefore, the correct answer is letter C, 45 degrees. The question asks, imagine a triangle that has two angles we already know. One angle measures 40 degrees, and the other angle measures 30 degrees. We need to find the size of the third angle. We have some choices for the answer. A says 90 degrees, B says 100 degrees, C says 110 degrees, and D says 120 degrees. To figure this out, we can use a special rule about triangles. The angles inside any triangle always add up to 180 degrees. So if we add the two angles we know, 40 degrees and 30 degrees, we get 70 degrees. Then we can take the total of 180 degrees and subtract the 70 degrees from it. This gives us 110 degrees. So the third angle is 110 degrees. The other choices, 90 degrees, 100 degrees, and 120 degrees,
are not the correct answer because they don't equal 110 degrees. Therefore, the correct choice is letter C, which is 110 degrees. Moving on to question 16. This question is a bit similar. It tells us we have a triangle, and we already know the sum of two of its angles is 110 degrees. We need to find the size of the third angle. The possible answers are A, 60 degrees, B, 65 degrees, C, 70 degrees, and D, 75 degrees. Remember the rule? All three angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. Since we know that two angles together make 110 degrees, we can find the third angle by subtracting that 110 degrees from the total of 180 degrees. Doing the math, 180 minus 110 equals 70. So the third angle is 70 degrees. The other choices, 60 degrees, 65 degrees, and 75 degrees, are not correct because they are not the result of subtracting 110 from 180. That means the correct answer is letter C, which is 70 degrees.
17. The question asks, at one vertex, the exterior angle on a straight line is 120 degrees. Find the interior angle, blank, there. The choices are A, 45 degrees, B, 55 degrees, C, 60 degrees, and D, 75 degrees. Now, remember our important formula. The interior angle and the exterior angle on a straight line always add up to 180 degrees. So, interior angle plus exterior angle on a straight line equals 180 degrees. To find the interior angle, we can do a subtraction. We take the total degrees on a straight line, which is 180 degrees, and subtract the exterior angle that's given. So 180 degrees minus 120 degrees equals 60 degrees. Why wouldn't the other answers be correct? Well, 45 degrees, 55 degrees, and 75 degrees, if you add them to 120 degrees, they don't reach 180 degrees. That's why they don't satisfy the rule. So the correct answer is letter C, 60 degrees. Moving on to question number 18. The question states, exterior angle equals 150 degrees. Find the interior angle at that vertex. The choices are A, 25 degrees, B, 30 degrees, C, 35 degrees, and D, 45 degrees. Using the same idea, the interior angle is found by taking the straight line total of 180 degrees and subtracting the exterior angle. So interior angle equals 180 minus 150. This calculation gives us 30 degrees. Why aren't the other choices right? 25 degrees, 35 degrees, and 45 degrees, when you add them to 150 degrees, they don't add up to 180 degrees. Therefore, the correct answer is letter B, 30 degrees.
Quadrilateral with angles 105 degrees, 75 degrees, 100 degrees, and x degrees. Find x. Choices: A, 70 degrees, B, 75 degrees, C, 80 degrees, D, 85 degrees. Remember, the sum of all the inside angles in a quadrilateral is always 360 degrees. So to find x, we subtract the other three angles from 360 degrees. That's 360 minus the sum of 105 plus 75 plus 100, which equals 80 degrees. The other options, 70 degrees, 75 degrees, or 85 degrees,
wouldn't add up correctly to 360 degrees when combined with the other given angles. The correct answer is letter C, 80 degrees. Question 20. Quadrilateral with angles 95 degrees, 85 degrees, 120 degrees, and x degrees. Find x. Choices: A, 45 degrees, B, 55 degrees, C, 60 degrees, D, 65 degrees. Again, we use the fact that the total sum of angles in a quadrilateral is 360 degrees. So x equals 360 minus the sum of 95 plus 85 plus 100. When you do that calculation, you get 60 degrees. If you chose 45 degrees, 55 degrees, or 65 degrees, the total sum of the four angles wouldn't be exactly 360 degrees. The correct answer is letter C, 60 degrees. Question 21. Fill the gap blank. 1 meter equals blank centimeters. Choices: A, 10, B, 100, C, 1000, D, 1. To convert from meters to centimeters, we multiply by 100. So 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. Think about a meter stick. It has 100 centimeters marked on it. The other options, 10, 1,000, or just 1 centimeter, are not the correct conversions for 1 meter. The correct answer is letter B, 100.
Look at question 22. We need to fill in the gap. The question says 1 kilometer equals blank meters, and our choices are A, 100, B, 1, C, 10, and D, 1,000. Remember, 1 kilometer is equal to 1,000 meters. So 100, 1, or 10 would be incorrect answers. Therefore, the correct answer is letter D, 1,000. Moving on to question 23. We need to fill in the gap again. The question says 1 centimeter equals blank millimeters. Our choices are A, 1,000, B, 1, C, 10, and D, 100. Remember, 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeters. So 1,000, 1, or 100 would be incorrect. The correct answer is letter C, 10. Finally, let's look at question 24. We need to fill in the gap again. The question says 1 meter equals blank millimeters. Our choices are A, 1,000, B, 1, C, 100, and D, 10. Remember that 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters, and each centimeter is equal to 10 millimeters. So 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters times 10 millimeters, which equals 1,000 millimeters. Therefore, the correct answer is letter A, 1,000. 1, 100, or 10 would be incorrect.
Question 25. We need to fill in the gap in the question that says 1 liter equals blank milliliters. Our choices are A, 1, B, 1,000, C, 10, and D, 100. Do you recall how many milliliters are in 1 liter? That's right. 1 liter is equal to 1,000 milliliters. So 1, 10, or 100 would be incorrect. The correct answer is letter B, 1,000. Now let's move on to question 26. We need to fill in the gap again. The question says 1 liter equals blank centiliters, and our choices are A, 100, B, 1, C, 10, and D, 1,000. Do you remember how many centiliters are in a liter? That's right. 1 liter is equal to 100 centiliters. So 1, 10, or 100 would be incorrect. The correct answer is letter A, 100.
And finally, let's look at question 26. We need to fill in the gap again. The question says 1 kilogram equals blank grams. Our choices are A, 100, B, 10, C, 1, and D, 1,000. Do you remember how many grams are in a kilogram? That's right, 1 kilogram is equal to 1,000 grams. So 100, 10, or 1 would be incorrect. The correct answer is letter D, 1,000.
Question 28, we need to fill in the gap in the question that says 1 gram equals blank milligrams. Our choices are A, 100, B, 10, C, 1,000, and D, 1. Do you remember how many milligrams are in 1 gram? That's right, 1 gram is equal to 1,000 milligrams. So 100, 10, or 1 would be incorrect. The correct answer is letter C, 1,000. Next, let's look at question 29. Here, we need to choose the conversion shown for converting grams to milligrams. This is the top box showing multiplication. Our choices are A times 100, B times 10, and C times 1,000. Since 1 gram is equal to 1,000 milligrams, the correct conversion is times 1,000. So the correct answer is letter C, times 1,000. Now let's look at question 30. We need to choose the conversion factor for converting grams to kilograms. This is the bottom box showing division. Our choices are A, divided by 100, B, divided by 1,000, and C, divided by 10. Since 1,000 grams equals 1 kilogram, the correct conversion is divided by 1,000. So the correct answer is letter B, divided by 1,000. Lastly, let's look at question 31. We need to choose the conversion factor for converting liters to milliliters. This is the top box showing multiplication. Our choices are A times 1,000, B times 10, and C times 100. Since 1 liter is equal to 1,000 milliliters, the correct conversion is times 1,000. So the correct answer is letter A, times 1,000. 2. We need to choose the conversion factor for converting milliliters to liters. This is the bottom box showing division. Our choices are A divided by 100, B divided by 10, and C divided by 1,000. Do you remember how many milliliters are in 1 liter? That's right, 1,000 milliliters is equal to 1 liter. So to go back from milliliters to liters, we need to divide by 1,000. So dividing by 100 or 10 would be incorrect. The correct answer is letter C, divided by 1,000. Next, let's look at question 33. We need to choose the conversion factor for converting liters to centiliters. This is the top box showing multiplication. Our choices are A times 1,000, B times 10, and C times 100. Since 1 liter is equal to 100 centiliters, the correct conversion is times 100. So the correct answer is letter C, times 100. Moving on to question 34. We need to choose the conversion factor for converting centiliters to liters. This is the bottom box showing division. Our choices are A divided by 100, B divided by 10, and C divided by 1,000. Do you remember how many centiliters are in 1 liter? That's right, 100 centiliters is equal to 1 liter. So to go back from centiliters to liters, we need to divide by 100. So dividing by 10 or 1,000 would be incorrect. The correct answer is letter A, divided by 100.
Question 35. Choose the conversion, centimeters to millimeters, top box. Choices: A times 100, B times 10, C times 1000. Formula: centimeters to millimeters times 100. Explanation: 1 centimeter equals 100 millimeters. Why not the others? Times 10 / times 1000 are wrong. Correct answer: letter A, times 100. Question 36. Choose the conversion back, millimeters to centimeters, bottom box. Choices: A divided by 10, B divided by 100, C divided by 1000. Formula: millimeters to centimeters divided by 100. Explanation: 1 millimeter equals 100 centimeters. Why not the others? Divided by 10 / divided by 1000 are wrong. Correct answer: letter C, divided by 100. Question 37. Choose the conversion meters to centimeters, top box. Choices: A times 1000, B times 10, C times 100. Formula: meters to centimeters times 1000. Explanation: 1 meter equals 1000 centimeters. Why not the others? Times 10 / times 100 are wrong. Correct answer: letter A, times 1000. Question 38. Choose the conversion back, centimeters to meters, bottom box. Choices: A divided by 10, B divided by 100, C divided by 1000. Formula: centimeters to meters divided by 1000. Explanation: 1000 centimeters equals 1 meter. Why not the others? Divided by 10 / divided by 100 are wrong. Correct answer: letter C, divided by 1000. Question 39. Choose the conversion kilometers to meters, top box. Choices: A times 100, B times 10, C times 1000. Formula: kilometers to meters times 1000. Explanation: 1 kilometer equals 1000 meters. Why not the others? Times 100 / times 10 are wrong. Correct answer: letter C, times 1000. 40. Choose the conversion back, which is meters into kilometers, looking at the bottom box. The choices are A, divide by 1000, B, divide by 10, C, divide by 1000. The formula for converting meters into kilometers is to divide by 1000. This is because 1000 meters is equal to 1 kilometer. So to go back from meters to kilometers, you need to make 1,000 times smaller, which is dividing by 1000. Dividing by 100 or dividing by 10 are the wrong conversions for this change. Therefore, the correct answer is letter C, divide by 1000. Question 41. Convert 3 meters into centimeters. The choices are A, 300 centimeters, B, 30 centimeters, C, 3 centimeters, D, 3,000 centimeters. The formula for converting meters into centimeters is to multiply by 100. So for 3 meters, you would multiply 3 times 100, which gives you 300 centimeters. The answers 30 and 3 are too small and not correct for this conversion. And the answer 3,000 is multiplying by 1,000, which is not the correct formula for meters to centimeters. Therefore, the correct answer is letter A, 300 centimeters. Question 42. Convert 8 kilometers into meters. The choices are A, 8 meters, B, 80 meters, C, 800 meters, D, 8,000 meters.
The formula for converting kilometers into meters is to multiply by 1,000. So for 8 kilometers, you would multiply 8 times 1,000, which gives you 8,000 meters. The answers 8, 80, and 800 are too small and incorrect for this conversion. Therefore, the correct answer is letter D, 8,000 meters.
43. Convert 350 centimeters into meters. Choices: A, 350 meters, B, 3.5 meters, C, 0.35 meters, D, 3,500 meters. To convert from centimeters to meters, we need to divide by 100. So, if we take 350 centimeters and divide by 100, we get 3.5 meters. Let's look at the other options. 350 meters and 3,500 meters have the wrong units because the question asks for meters, but the numbers are incorrect. 0.35 meters is also incorrect because it is 10 times too small. Therefore, the correct answer is letter B, 3.5 meters. Question 44. Convert 200 millimeters into centimeters. Choices: A, 200 centimeters, B, 20 centimeters, C, 2 centimeters, D, 200 centimeters. When converting from millimeters to centimeters, we divide by 10. If we take 200 millimeters and divide by 10, we find that it equals 20 centimeters. Looking at the other options, 200 centimeters is much larger than the original amount in millimeters, so it's incorrect. 2 centimeters is also incorrect because it's too small. So, the correct answer is letter B, 20 centimeters. Question 45. Order smallest first. 400 centimeters, 2 meters, 0.003 kilometers. Choices: A, 2 meters, 0.003 kilometers, 400 centimeters. B, 400 centimeters, 2 meters, 0.003 kilometers. C, 2 meters, 400 centimeters, 0.003 kilometers. D, 0.003 kilometers, 400 centimeters, 2 meters. To compare these measurements, let's convert them all into the same unit, meters. 400 centimeters is equal to 4 meters. 2 meters is already in meters, and 0.003 kilometers is equal to 3 meters. Now we can easily see the order from smallest to largest. 2 meters is the smallest, then 3 meters, and finally 4 meters. Converting back to the original units, this corresponds to 2 meters, 0.003 kilometers, and 400 centimeters. The other options are not in the correct ascending order based on our comparison of 2 meters, 3 meters, and 4 meters. Therefore, the correct answer is letter A, 2 meters, 0.003 kilometers, and 400 centimeters.
Question: Convert 2 kilograms into grams. Choices: A, 2,000 grams, B, 200 grams, C, 2 grams, D, 20 grams. Formula: kilograms to grams equals times 1,000. Explanation: 2 times 1,000 equals 2,000 grams. Why not the others? 200/2/20 are off by powers of 10. Correct answer is letter A, 2,000 grams.
7. The question asks us to convert 78.1 grams into kilograms. The choices are A, 0.0781 kilograms, B, 0.781 kilograms, C, 781 kilograms, D,
7.81 kilograms. To change grams into kilograms, the formula tells us to divide the number of grams by 1,000. So we take 78.1 and divide it by 1,000. This gives us 0.0781 kilograms. Why are the other choices incorrect? Well, 0.781, 7.81, and 781 are all much bigger than the correct answer. Specifically, they are 10 times, 100 times, and even 10,000 times larger. Therefore, the correct answer is letter A, which is 0.0781 kilograms.
Question 48. The question is, convert 0.07 liters into milliliters. Your options are A, 700 milliliters, B, 7,000 milliliters, C, 7 milliliters, or D, 70 milliliters. The formula for converting liters into milliliters is to simply multiply by 1,000. So if we take 0.07 and multiply it by 1,000, we get 70 milliliters. The other options, 700, 7,000, and 7, are incorrect because they are off by a power of 10. Therefore, the correct answer is letter D, 70 milliliters. Moving on to question 49, the question is, what unit would you use for the length of a pen? Your options are A, centimeters, B, grams, C, kilograms, D, meters, or E, liters. Here, we need to choose the most suitable unit for measuring something small, like the length of a pen. A pen is best measured in centimeters. Grams and kilograms are units for mass, not length, so they are incorrect. Meters are typically used for longer distances, so they are too big for a pen. And liters are used for capacity, like liquids. Therefore, the correct answer is letter A, centimeters.
Question 50. What unit would you use for the mass of a cat? The choices are A, centimeters, B, grams, C, kilograms, D, meters, and E, liters. Think about which unit is practical for measuring something that weighs several kilograms, like a cat. A typical cat usually has a mass of a few kilograms. Why aren't the other options right? Centimeters and meters are units for measuring length or distance, not mass. Grams would be too small to measure a whole cat, maybe just a tiny bit of fur. And liters are used to measure capacity, like how much liquid something can hold, not mass. So the correct answer is letter C, kilograms. Now, question 51. You need to read the thermometer and tell me the temperature it shows. The options are A, 87, B, 85, C, 84, and D, 83. Let's count the marks on the scale. See where the mercury level is? It's exactly at the midpoint, halfway between 80 and 90. The number halfway between 80 and 90 is 85. That's right, the mercury level is clearly about halfway between the mark for 80 and the mark for 90. The other numbers, 87, 84, and 83, are not at that exact midpoint line. Therefore, the correct answer is letter B, 85. Moving on to question 52. Again, we need to read the temperature from the thermometer. The choices are A, 25, B, 24, C, 27, and D, 26. Look at the scale this time. It's between 20 and 30. Where does the mercury stop? It's right in the middle. The midpoint between 20 and 30 is 25. Yes, the level is exactly halfway between those two numbers. The numbers 24, 26, and 27 are not on the center tick mark. So, the correct answer for this question is letter A, 25. Question number 53. Question. Read the thermometer and give the temperature. We see a thermometer with numbers 10 and 20. The level of the liquid is right in the middle. What number do we call halfway between 10 and 20? That's right, 15. So the correct answer is D, 15. Now for question number 54. Question: read the thermometer and give the temperature. This thermometer goes from 60 to 70. Let's count the small lines above 60. We see the liquid is just below 70. It looks like it's close to 68. If we look at our options, 65 and 66 are too low, and 69 is a bit too high. So the correct answer is D, 68. Moving on to question number 55. Question: read the thermometer and give the temperature. This thermometer goes from 20 to 40. We see the liquid is right at the number 30. It looks like the shaded area reaches the line for 30. So the correct answer is letter B, 30. The other numbers, 29, 31, and 32, are not where the line is.
Today, we are going to practice some verbal reasoning questions. Are you ready to put your thinking caps on? Let's start with question 1. Question: complete the letter pair sequence. N, K, M, J, L, I, K, H. What comes next? Choices: A, J, G, B, J, H, C, I, F, D, I, H. Explanation: in each pair, both letters move back one place in the alphabet. Let's look at the first letters first. N to M to L to K. The next letter is J. Now let's look at the second letters. K to J to I to H. The next letter is G. So the pair that comes next is J, G. Why not the others? JH keeps the second letter wrong, as the second letter should be moving backwards one from H, which is G. IF has the first letter wrong, because the first letter should be moving back one from K, which is J. IH has both letters wrong. The first letter should be J, and the second letter should be G. The correct answer is letter A, JG.
2. Question: complete the sequence. AM, CK, EIGG. What comes next? Choices: AIE, B, KE, C, GG, D, HE. Explanation: the first letter goes forward 2 each time. A, C, E, G. The next letter is I. The second letter goes back 2 each time. M, K, I, G. The next letter is E. Why not the others? KE jumps too far on the first letter. GE does not move the first letter. HE only moves the first letter by 1. Correct answer, letter A, IE. Question 3. Question: complete the sequence. DN, EO, GP, HQ. What comes next? Choices: AIR, B, JR, C, KS, D, KR. Explanation: the first letters follow +1, +2, +1, so the next letter is +2 from H, which takes us to J. The second letters go +1 each time. N, O, P, Q. The next letter is R. Why not the others? IR is 1 too small on the first letter. KS moves both letters too far. KR moves the first letter too far. Correct answer, letter B, JR. Complete the sequence BT, EU, HV, KW. What comes blank? Choices: A, NX, B, MX, C, BY, D, NY. Explanation: first letters increase by 3 each time. B,
E, H, K, so the next letter will be N. The second letters increase by 1 each time. T, U, V, W, so the next letter will be X. Why not the others? MX has the first letter too small. BY resets to the start. NY has the second letter too big, it should be X. Correct answer, letter A, NX. Question 5. Complete the sequence PN, OM, NL, MK. What comes next? Choices A, LJ, B, LK, C, MJ, D, MK. In both positions, the letters move back 1 each step. From P to O to N to M, the next letter will be L. And from N to M to L to K, the next letter will be J. Why not the others? LK does not change the second letter. MJ keeps the first letter too large. And MK repeats the previous pair of letters. Correct answer, letter A, LJ. Question 6. Find the missing number. 7, 12, 17, 22, blank. Choices A, 27, B, 26, C, 25, D, 24. Explanation. The pattern adds 5 each time. 22 plus 5 equals 27. Why not the others? 26, 25, and 24 do not follow the plus 5 rule. Correct answer, letter A, 27.
7. Find the missing number. 5, 11, 17, 23, blank. Choices A, 29, B, 30, C, 28, D, 27. Explanation. The pattern adds 6 each time. We can see that 11 minus 5 equals 6, and 17 minus 11 equals 6 too. 23 plus 6 equals 29. Why not the others? 30, 28, and 27 do not follow the plus 6 step. Correct answer, letter A, 29. Question 8. Find the missing number. 8, 11, 17, 20, blank. Choices A, 26, B, 25, C, 24, D, 23. Explanation. The steps alternate plus 3, then plus 6. From 8 to 11, we add 3. From 11 to 17, we add 6. From 17 to 20, we add 3. So the next step is to add 6 to 20, which gives us 26. Why not the others? 25, 24, and 23 do not fit the alternating plus 3 plus 6 pattern. Correct answer, letter A, 26. Question 9. Find the missing number. 2, 4, 8, 14, blank. Choices A, 22, B, 24, C, 20, D, 26. Explanation. The increases are plus 2, plus 4, plus 6. We can see that 4 minus 2 equals 2. 8 minus 4 equals 4. And 14 minus 8 equals 6. So the next increase is going to be 8, since we are increasing by 2 each time. 14 plus 8 equals 22. Why not the others? 24, 20, and 26 do not follow the next even increase of 8. Correct answer, letter A, 22. 10. Find the missing number. 3, 5, 9, 17, blank. Choices A, 31, B,
34, C, 33, D, 35. Explanation. The rule here is times 2, then minus 1. So starting with 17, 17 times 2 is 34. And then if we subtract 1, we get 33. Why not the others? 31, 34, and 35 do not use the multiply by 2, then subtract 1 rule correctly. Correct answer, letter C, 33. Question 11. Opposite of the word in bold. Follow. Choices A, lead, B, force, C, ahead, D, steer. Explanation. The opposite of the word follow is lead. Why not the others? Force, ahead, and steer are not opposites of follow. Correct answer, letter A, lead. Question 12. Opposite of the word in bold. Fragile. Choices A, sturdy, B, breakable, C, dainty, D, heavy. Fragile means easily broken. The opposite of something that is easily broken is sturdy, which means strong. Why not the others? Breakable and dainty are words that are close to fragile, and heavy does not necessarily mean strong by itself. Correct answer, letter A, sturdy. 13. Opposite of the word in bold. Flexible. Choices A, bendy, B, stiff, C, hard, D, tough. Explanation. Flexible means able to bend. The opposite is stiff. Why not the others? Bendy is similar to flexible. Hard and tough are not exact opposites of flexible. Correct answer, letter B, stiff. Question 14. Opposite of the word in bold. Major. Choices A, young, B, useless, C, lazy, D, unimportant. Explanation. Major means important. The opposite is unimportant. Why not the others? Young, useless, and lazy do not oppose the meaning of major. Correct answer, letter D, unimportant. Question 15. Opposite of the word in bold. Fresh. Choices A, old, B, faded, C, dry, D, stale. Explanation. The true opposite of fresh food is stale. Why not the others? Old, faded, and dry are not the standard opposite of fresh in this context. Correct answer, letter D, stale. 16. With A equals 4, B equals 5, C equals 15, D equals 17, E equals 19, find E minus A written as a letter. Choices A, B, C, D, E. Explanation. First, we need to calculate E minus A. That would be 19 minus 4, which equals 15. Now we need to find which letter is worth 15 in this code. Looking at the given values, C equals 15. Therefore, the answer is C. Why not the others? A, B, D, and E do not equal 15 under this code. Correct answer, letter C. Question 17. With A equals 3, B equals 5, C equals 7, D equals 8, E equals 10, find A plus C minus B written as a letter. Choices A, B, C, D, E. Explanation. First, we need to calculate A plus C minus B. That would be 3 plus 7 minus 5, which equals 5. Now we need to find which letter is worth 5 in this code. Looking at the given values, B equals 5. Therefore, the answer is B. Why not the others? A, C, D, and E are not equal to 5 in this code. Correct answer, letter B. Question 18. With A equals 2, B equals 3, C equals 9, D equals 12, E equals 15, find A times B plus C written as a letter. Choices A, B, C, D, E. Explanation. First, we need to calculate A times B plus C. Using the order of operations, we do the multiplication first. 2 times 3 equals 6. Then we add 9, which equals 15. Now we need to find which letter is worth 15 in this code. Looking at the given values, E equals 15. Therefore, the answer is E. Why not the others? A, B, C, and D do not match the value 15. Correct answer, letter E. 19. With A equals 2, B equals 3, C equals 8, D equals 15, E equals 19, find D divided by B minus B written as a letter. Choices A, B, C, D, E. Explanation. First, we need to calculate D divided by B minus B. We do the division first. 15 divided by 3 equals 5. Then we subtract 3 from 5, which equals 2. Now we need to find which letter is worth 2 in this code. Looking at the given values, A equals 2. Therefore, the answer is A. Why not the others? B, C, D, and E do not equal 2 in this code. Correct answer, letter A. Question 20. With A equals 1, B equals 2, C equals 4, D equals 6, E equals 8, find D times B minus C written as a letter. Choices A, B, C, D, E. Explanation. First, we need to calculate D times B minus C. We do the multiplication first. 6 times 2 equals 12. Then we subtract 4 from 12, which equals 8. Now we need to find which letter is worth 8 in this code. Looking at the given values, E equals 8. Therefore, the answer is E. Why not the others? A, B, C, and D do not match the value of 8. Correct answer, letter E.